Hi guys, today we'll learn how to make a brick picker game. So I have 3 sprites: ball, puddle, bricks. So I'll just start with the bricks. I'll just show them and set this to 1, 5, 6. So now when the green flag is clicked, repeat 8 times, change X by 5, 5. I'll just go to this place and create a clone of myself. You can play with these numbers to make it work with your game. So here I'll repeat 6, set X to this number, change Y by negative I think 30 will be good or enough. So let me just click the green flag. I'll make this first. There are one more brick that all of those are clones, but this one it's actually the real custom. So I will just hide it after all that and show it in the beginning. So now I'll make a block, render, run without screen refresh. Or you can just call it generate bricks. So now you can see we have bricks. So in the bottle, yes, forever. First, I will go to this position and change X and set Y. You can play with this number, but you can play with this Y and also with this Y to make it just down. So change X by minus. I'll make it 1. You can just check. Okay. So mouse X minus X position. So now we can have the bottle go to our mouse pointer. So why we don't make it like this? Where it is, I'll just duplicate it. So why we are just not make it like this? It is actually will work, but I'll make it, if I make it here 5, you can see it just goes smooth. And repeat until I'll make when I receive reset over here. I'll just put this code. So we repeat until mouse down or key space pressed. We will do that, then forever do this. So why we are making that? Because I'll just broadcast over here, start ball check. How we type it? Yes, like this. So the ball when the green flag is clicked, forever go to paddle. So now first broadcast reset. So now you can see it just what's it called, let me just change y by, I think 30 will be good. So now you can see the ball is not perfectly on the paddle. So here when the green flag is clicked, and here wait 0 second. It is also not works. Why is that happening? Okay, we can just do another thing. Move ball with paddle. So now how we can just use that event, so I'll broadcast it after this. So now you can see it just go perfectly on the paddle. So now when I receive start ball tick, I will add the forever loop and make a block called ball tick, run without screen refresh. So the ball tick, clean up blocks. Okay, so I'll make two variable, x for the sprite only and of y for the sprite only. So set x and set y. Sorry, I'll just change x, change y. We can set them over here by x and y. So I can set this to 5 and 5. So if I just click, you can see, let me just, so now just 5 5, change x by x and change, and also stop other script in this sprite. Sorry, not here. I'll just go to the battle and remove this one. So now let me just click, and you can see 1 2 3 click, it just go. So now I'll just set 5 5, or I can just set x, pick random, sorry, to -10 to 10, and the y will be to 5. So now you can see every time it just go into a random position with the random angles, but here I want them to be in the same speed, so sine of that multiplied by 5, because I want it to be the same speed with the y. So now you can see just move like this. So now I will just make it the motion, you'll find if on edge bounce. So now you can see, just let me just hide these two variables, it just not go into the edges. So if touching, I'll make a block called touching. Let me just see how it is. I can just type it. Okay, a minute, I just forget how to type it. T like this. Touching, it is not important, just Okay, here are, we'll just type in n, and without this n, touching. Yes, I just made it. So now the touching will take an if else. Touching breaks, set solid, that's just a new variable, set it to 1, and else I'll set it to 0. So now you'll just check for touching, that just will be the last edit, uh, like this. So we'll just check for touching, then if touching solid is greater than 0, then change x by x multiplied by -1 and change x by x, and here also we can just remove this bounce, and here I'll just check for touching, solid is greater than that. Okay, so change y, sorry, here must be a set y and a set x, sorry for that. So now you can see just go like this, but it is not bounce on my paddle. So everything, maybe you have more than one sprite for the bricks or anything you want the player to collide with it, something like borders or anything, you will just make a or touching the thing that you want. So now you can see we have a ball, and also we can make it point in direction 90 or not rotating at all. So now you can see it is just so boring actually. So let me just make a speed 8. Yes, like this. So it is just go and come in the same direction. You can see that's not our problem. We are just make the bricks disappear, then it can go inside and do something like hit and come back. So in our ball sprite here, if touching bricks or the paddle, I'll go to the bricks and broadcast, sorry, when I receive reset, delete the cyclone, and here wait 0 second, generate a breaks, then broadcast breaks, sorry, breaks tick start. So now if we are just receive the break tick start, so we'll add a for the loop, just if touching, where it is over here, if touching ball, then delete this clone. So now you can see it just didn't delete this clone. Actually, let me just wait 0.2 seconds just to see all the frames. So now if it just move, you can see it is actually do not collide with it, and actually also it does not collide with our paddle. So how we can just make our brick check if it is collide with it. So now I can just, because we remove the bounce on edges, you can see just it is doing that. So or edge. So now let me just, it's okay. So if I just remove this two, you can see, let me just waiting for it, it will touching on one frame, then it will come back. So I'll just remove this wet block and start. So yes, you can see it just doing the same pattern. It just does not changing, so just go and come back, go and come back. So now we want it to be a randomly go. So to do that, here we must change the x and the y. So now you can see it is just not move on a pattern. You can see just come and up and down. So these two blocks are so important. So how we can just hit the bricks if we are not touching them? Actually we can touching them over here. So if I just edit it and remove the ROM without screen refresh, you can see it will just work the same. So what about just wait 0 second. After this touching solid blocks, you can see it just does not touching the sorry, it is just working normally, and the bricks are hits and it can just move. So what about just make the ball faster? So I'll make a variable speed for the sprite only and set speed to 8. Here I will just put the speed and the speed, and also change the speed by a number. And here how we can just set x into a speed. So here after that set the speed to 0, change the speed by 0.1 over here, and this forever loop. Wait 1 second and change the speed. Then after that set the speed to 0, here I can just wait 0 second, so it will just and just take this set speed and also wait a 0 second. So now let me just explain this code. So when these two codes run, this code will be running first. Why? Because we have wait 0 second, that means 1 frame. So it will just set the speed and start just a 1 tick for the ball. Then here it will just set speed to 0 and change the speed by this value. Wait 0 second because we want just to make a code over here. Then set the speed back to 0 and wait 1 second to change his speed one more time. So change x and change y by speed. So now you can see they are just so fast. So let me just show the ball x. Let me just show the speed. If I just try to remove that, the first tick, we don't want this to be happen, so this will be over here, and we can remove this block. So now if I just click it, you can see it is just work. So now the speed, you can't see it, just set to 0.1 and come back again, because all of that just do the code, just make it in one single frame. So now we can just make the speed, we just click the green flags and make it 0.5. So now it will just be faster, and you can see that. So now let me just set his speed changing by 6. It will be just, can see it just being so weird. So why that happening? Let me just stop the whole game. So sometimes the x variable, let me just explain it over here. Sometimes the x will be equals a number of maybe negative anything. So let me just make it something like negative 6. So that, because you are changing by 6 this time, it actually will changing because we have the Baltic. But let me just say it just something like that. So if you are change it by 6, it will set to 0. So now we are not speeding our ball, we are changing the y by 6 and add to this 6, so it will be 0, and the x will be not moving, so it will move up and down, and that sometimes it will be just negative 7, and this will be a 1. So it just move a little 1 pixel in every time. So we want just to know if the x is a positive or the x, and actually that's not for the x and y, but I just show you the x. So we want to know which one, if the x is just sorry, that's called is positive and the x is a negative. So after we are know and we are changing our speed by 6, we want over here to change it by a positive 6, sorry, but here we want to change it by a negative 6. So that's what we will make it. So we'll make it with the calculations or some operators. So we'll take the apps and like this. So if we are doing that, it just set to 1. Let me just set x into any number, and now it will be a 1. So that means it is a negative number, because we want to make it 1 or a 0. The x was a 0, it will be just a nan, so an an. And if we just say set, so let me just show it, change solid by any number. If we set it to nan, it will just set to nan, so that's okay. Or it was a negative for any number, so that will be a negative 1. So now we have know if it is a positive or a negative number, but we want it of all of that will be multiplied by speed. So now we will remove that and put this code over here. And if you just want to, I don't know what it's called, but okay. So now clean up blocks, and I'll just put this block over here. Okay, so now let me just show it, and you can see it just don't be have a weird speed. So you can see it just get too much higher. So if speed is bigger than let me just make it 10, I don't think, 20 to 0, set the speed to 0. Okay, so let me just check how much speed it is. I don't want to set it to 0 over here, like this, and the X, you can see just something like a 400. So we'll make more than one limit. X, set X to 20, Y, set Y to 0. So now you can see we have a limit. So now I'll just change the background color. I'll make it gray. You can actually choose any what's called any sprite or customs for your game. So now we have this script. How much of the time? Okay, we have just a little bit of a time for this video, and I will close it. We have touching, that everything is okay. So now the last two things, the win and the lose. So now we'll make the lose first because it is actually a lot more easier. Make a space. So now we'll walk over here. If so, actually that script will run if it is touching anything, or after every move it will check if it is touching before it just go out the wall. So if the Y position, let me just set the Y to negative bigger number, it will just limit on one number. You'll just copy it and make it right here. So if Y position is less than this number, but actually you will make it -1, so 7, 9, or -2, 7, -10 is good. So now it is just 7, 1, or lower, it will be just loose. So broadcast, let me just check. Okay, broadcast loose. So I'll just stop other script in the sprites. Stop other script in the sprites. And in the puddle, when I receive lose, stop the same thing. And in the brick, where is the, yes, it's over here. We can just put it or not, because it will not, I can just remove it actually. So now if I just lose, can see all the things has just stopped except the ball. So now my puzzle just stops, and I think we can also drag it over here. So white is not move because we can make it just when I receive lose. So now my player is just lose and everything is stops. So now I'll go over here, make a space, repeat 3, set brightness, result clear graphic effects, set the brightness to 100, weight 0.1, and like this. So now I have this animation, and after that broadcast reset. So now just a click. So now just being so fast. 2, and also set it to 0. So now for the win bricks, make a variable bricks count for all sprites, set the bricks count to 0, change the bricks count by 1. After all that, the green flag is clicked, or after this generate a block forever if okay, like this. If a bricks count is less than 1, stop all, and before that broadcast win. And wait, that's so important. So when I receive reset, show, and also show to the battle, and when I receive win, it will hide, also hide to the battle. So now for the win, make one last sprite called win, and yay, you win. Don't change his color, make it like this. Okay, just lagging, just make another one, win. And you can actually make a lot of things, but for now I'll make it like this, win. Just you win, yay. We just make it white and change his font. The green flag is clicked. When I receive reset, when I receive win, hide, hide, show. So we finish for today, and in the next episode we will make a win animation. We have actual animation, not in frames, just a particle and maybe some sound, and also maybe we'll add a sound for those, and we'll add just an effects and a particle for the ball, a particle for the puddle, and for the bricks power up, and also a particle for this. It's called the break. So now we have this game. So now I'll just I'll just go to the ball and remove this code. Just to click it and wait for it. Faster, faster. Okay, like this. I noticed so fast. Okay, I want the one screen to be show the last break. Okay, so now I just forget one thing, to change break count by -1. Then if I just show it, start the game, every brick we will just break it will change by -1. Actually don't want to wait again. Then the last brick will be over here, then you win. Yay. And yes, that's all. Thanks for watching. You can just subscribe over here and see the last video I just uploaded. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.